Good evening. I'm Gaurav Pandey or Gaurav Bhaiya. And in this particular live, we'll solve another problem statement based on the hash map, right? So far, we have understood what is hash map already. We have solved one problem statement, right? Today we'll solve problem number two. Oh, already mentioned one, but that is problem number two. Yesterday we have solved problem number one, right? But before I begin, I just want to know how's the energy, and are we good to go? Please tell me, are we good to go? How's your coding preparation going on? And are we good to go? Just tell me. Then also our problem statement that is basically the thing contains duplicate. Okay, and you remember we have already solved one problem statement that was contains duplicate first. That we have solved already, right? And now today we'll solve second. In that problem we had solved that particular thing by using array frequency counter. Hi Fatima. Okay, cool Sweta. So now today we'll solve another problem that is contains duplicate second, and here this problem already has been appeared in Facebook, Google, Adobe, Amazon, Uber, Airbnb, Apple, Bloomberg, Microsoft. Very important problem, and also you'll understand how this will help you to solve other problems based on like hash map. Cool. So we'll go to the lead code directly. Then we'll see the problem statement first, then we'll write the solution. So here the problem statement is that given an integer array nums and an integer k. Okay, so we will have two things. One is the nums array itself. Okay, second thing is a k. That is an integer value. Okay, but what we'll do with this? Return true if there are two distinct indices I and j. Means if there are two different indexes I and j, in that case, in the array such that nums I and nums j both are equal, means duplicate. You remember the concept? You remember the concept we have already solved in a contains duplicate problem, right? But this is a second, and definitely there's something different than that particular problem. And why we cannot solve this particular problem in that particular way that we have done in array frequency counter? Absolute difference between I and j should be less than or equals to k. Okay, so it will be less than or equals to k. If that is true, you'll return true. Otherwise, you'll return false. So simply, if you'll see this, you have k equals to 3. And now where the duplicate values are, 1 and 1 are duplicate values, means nums I and nums j are equal. So what will be the difference? Here the value of I is 0. Here the value of I is 3. So 3 minus 0 becomes 3. Is that difference which equals to the key? Yes, that is. So you'll return true. You will return true, right? In another example, they have mentioned here this thing like you have duplicate value as 1 1. Yes or no? Right. So the difference will be 1 only. So basically, if you see this, this will be not true, but this will be true. This will be true. Yes or no? This will be true. Because if you'll see this, the value of I that is actually here 2, and the value of j that will be 3. So 3 minus 2 becomes 1. That is k equals to 1, and that's why we're returning true. So I hope now the problem statement makes sense to everybody. But why you cannot solve this problem with the help of array frequency counter? You remember we have already covered a series on array frequency counter, right? Array frequency counter, we have solved a lot of problems over there. But why you cannot use here directly? Means not in an easy way, but that is possible, but in a very complex way. That's why I don't want to cover that. But what is the goal here? The goal simply, Fatima, is that you need to return true or false based on a condition that if you have a duplicate value and the value of I index and the another duplicate value, we assume that that is a j index. If the difference between both is less than or equals to the k, will return true, otherwise false. So that is the problem statement, and I hope this makes sense, right? So, but why you cannot use average frequency counter? You remember that time we were having value from 1 to n, but here nothing is mentioned like that, right? Second thing is that there we only had positive values, but here you have negative values also, right? So when this is a case, you want to calculate frequency, you want to check duplicates, and negative values are available. In that case, you'll always use hash map. You will always use map. Cool here. So we'll write code in three languages, in Java, C++, and Python. But before I write code, I just want to simulate this situation, how we can do it. So I have 1, 2, 3, 1, and I'll go to our PPT back here. Okay, so here I'm assuming we have one nums. Cool. In this nums, you have 1, 2, 3, 1. So now what they mentioned, let's assume that you have two indexes. One is this I and another is j, where you'll see this value are equal. So nums I is equal to the nums j. Yes or no? The brute force is also possible here. Okay, you can apply two loops, but that will take a lot of time. Trust me. Implement a brute force, like you can like start searching from taking this one external pointer as I, and you search in the remaining of the array. If you get it, just get the differences. If that difference is less than k or equals to k, return true. But that will have a time complexity of big of n square and will take a lot of time and execution. But this will be a faster because you are doing in linear way. So now here you see they are same, but is the difference is also less than or equals to k? The value of k was 3. Look at this, the I is pointing to 0, 3 is j is pointing out to 3. So basically 3 minus this thing 0 becomes 3. Any of them mentioned the absolute difference, the difference will always come as positive. So is this difference equals to less than or equals to k? Yes, which means that there exists another duplicate. If we get the differences between their current positions, that will be less than or equals to the k. But how? Without using these double two loops, without iterating it the whole array twice, what is the another way? The way is the map. So create a map. You check. Let's suppose you have the value 1. So check, is this 1 available in this map? No, this is not. Then put it in the map. So 1 and the index of it, that is 0. Last day problem. Last day we were doing the same thing, yes or no? Last day we were doing the same thing, right? And same thing we'll do here as well. So another thing what you will have, the next value we get, that is 2. So is this 2 available in this map? No. If this is not available, then put in the map. What is the index? That is 1. Check another value. 3. Is it 3 available? No, 3 is not available. Then put the value, put the index. Check 1 again. Back again, you receive the 1. If the 1 is present in the map, can I say this is a duplicate? If map is already present in the map, then can I say this is duplicate? Yes, I can say this is duplicate. So found duplicate, yes or no? Once you have duplicate, you need to check this condition, right? Which means that you need to access the index of that existing value, that is 0. So you'll access with the help of map.get or any way, right? So you'll get from the map that is this particular thing, that is 1. So it will give you 0. So 0 minus, or probably you can write, or what are the current index. So let's suppose this is current index 3. So 3 minus 0 will be what? 3. Is this less than or equals to k? Yes, that is. If that is true, if this is less than or equals to k, in that case we can return true. Otherwise, if we do not get any single value, at that we return false. Right. So this is the logic. This is the logic, and I hope here the logic is quite clear to all. We have to check the difference of indexes. Correct. Difference of indexes of the duplicate values. Of the duplicate value, that difference should be less than or equals to k. Okay, that difference will be less than or equals to k. Cool here. So I'll go back here to the LeetCode, and here first I'll write the code in Java. If somebody needs a dry run, then do let me know. And otherwise, I hope here the things looks clear to everybody. Yeah, in my phone, what happened? Cool. So now here I will have one hash map here. Actually, use my phone for checking the chats of yours. So here integer, again we'll store the integer type value in Java first thing. So it's equals to new hash map, and here I will have a hash map declaration. Makes sense. Cool here. So now you'll iterate your whole array. So int I is equals to 0, I is less than nums dot length, and again I plus plus to iterate your array. Yes or no? Now you'll check here if map dot contains key, what key? The nums I, right? The nums I. If this is available, then check. If that is available, then check the difference. Yes or no? Check the difference. Then check I minus map dot get the index of the previous value, right? Map.get what? The value of nums I, means the index of nums I that was previously, right? That was previously. If that is less than this difference, the current index minus the previous index that we have stored in the map, if this difference is less than or equals to k, only in this case I will return true. Otherwise, what I will do here, If that is not a case, if map does not contain, then in this map I'll put what? That num psi. If this is not available in the map, then I'll put num psi and the index of it, right? And at the end, if we iterate over whole array and we do not get true, at the end we'll return false. Will return false. Yes or no? Right? That is the thing. That is the thing. So yeah, we'll try. We'll try if it's working or not. Probably if I haven't made any typo error. Logically, it's correct. Okay, so I haven't made any typo error means typing error, and this works fine. Yeah, it's beating good because if you'll implement with the help of that double loop, trust me, that will take a lot of time. Now, can somebody help me with the time and space complexity of it? Time complexity will be linear because you're using a single loop, and the space complexity will be again linear because of n. Why? Because you're using a hash map, right? So that is the thing. Now we'll convert the same code to the C++. If somebody need a dry run, then do let me know, and otherwise, if that is clear, then glad to hear that as well. So now here I will have one map, but here the thing is that yet you have an ordered map, unordered underscore map, and here the name I'll give it as map end end. Sure, I'll do a dry run, don't worry. Correct, Srita? Correct, Srita. So now here I'll remove this. Okay, once I'll write the code in all languages, then we'll do a dry run, don't worry. So here you don't have length in C++, you have size. You have size, and now here you don't have contains key method, you have contains method, and you don't have get method also in C++. So you use this array notation to get the value from the map, and you don't have put method, so you'll use this method. Okay, so now here this is how you write the code in C++. And we're using a map here again. Okay, we'll do it in Java code, don't worry. Okay, Fatima. So here probably it's good. Okay, a good solution. If you'll see the other solution, that will take more time. So now I'll write the same code in Python as well. So here go to the Python 3. Here we are. So here you map you define completely in a different way. Okay, so here we will have our curly braces for map, and again you don't have this normal for loop here. You have to use for in loop for I in range of what? Len nums, correct? And now here you do not have contains method. What method you have? You remember? You had one method in, right? You had one method in. So now here I'll remove this nums I in map. If that is available in map and you don't have this and symbol here, you have this and the gap between the previous index and the current index should be less than or equals to k. In that case, I'll return true, and the true actually teach capital in Python, so I'll make it capital, and here we go. And also here, this is the thing, cool. Here, this is the thing, right? So now this is what we wanted to do, and false the f is capital in Python, right? I hope that this will work fine. And the time and space complexity is same as linear. Oh, you don't need this. Cool. Yeah, this time this will work. I hope so. Yes. Here logically it's correct. Correct. It's working fine. It's working fine. Now we'll go back to the Java code and we'll do a dry run. Okay, I'll go to the Java code back again. And here I have Java code. I'll copy this and we'll go to our slides. Okay, and here in our slides I'll paste this. Insert text box, paste this code, but I really want a little space here because without a space I can't work. That looks really bad. Oh, cool. Yeah, here one space, uh, here one space, and here one space. Cool. Here one space. One space is here, another is here, and one last space. Yeah, cool. At this time, this looks good. Right, I'll do a slide so back again from the current slide. We are back. Cool, yeah. So now how this is working, okay? How this is working? That is some question, right? So what I'll do, I'll take an example. I'll take an example from here itself. So let's say this is false. Why this is first I'll take for the true, okay? I have this 1011. So I have nums 1011. The value of k is 1. So basically in step number 1, what we have as of now, you have a map, right? You have a map here. So by default, the map is empty. By default, the map is empty. Yes or no? Step number 1, you'll iterate. You will come on the 0 index. You'll check on the 0 index that you get 1. So you'll check if this 1 is available in the map. No, that is not available. So this it will not work. This will work. You'll put that 1 into the map. And what is the index of it? That is 0. Because I was pointing out to the 0th index. Right? Cool thing here. Now in step number 1, this is what happened, right? This is what happened. So we'll have a map here that will have the value as 1 is equals to 0. So this is map we will have in step number 1. Step number 2. Step number 2. When it comes to step number 2, you'll check again. You have this 0. You'll check this 0. Is this 0 available in the map? No, this is not available. And if this is not available, then this if will not work because contains key is not true. Then this will not work. This you'll put it again. So now in map you put it 0 is equals to 1. So now you have two things in map. What are these two things? That you have 1 is equals to 0, 0 is equals to 1, right? The index of it. Again, what will happen? You'll iterate it I plus plus. You will have another value that is 1. So you'll check in the map. Which is 1 is available. Is this contains key? Yes, this is contains key. So now if that is contains key, step 3. Okay, that contains key and I the value of I was 2 here, the second index. So you check this. Is this 1 is available? Yes, that is true. So this is true, right? Contains key becomes true. Then you will check the condition. Then map.get num_i means the 1, right? The value of 1 you will get from the map, that is 0. That is 0, right? The value of 1 you will get from the map and that is pointing out to 0. So you will have 0 minus and 0 minus what? Sorry, I minus. So I was 2, so 2 minus 0. So this should be less than or equals to k, and k is 1. K is what? K is 1. Tell me, is this true or false? So you will say that this is false. This is false. So basically this if will not work again. This if will not work again. And you'll put it the value of nums_i, which is 1. On second index you have value as 1 and you'll update the value in the map itself. So the value of I was 1. So this value of I was 2 this time, right? So map will be updated and here you will have this as 2. Means you will have another map which is this thing. 1 is pointing out to 2, 0 is pointing out to 1. Step number 4. Step number 4. What will happen? You will have the last element, that is 1 itself. You will come back again. You will check, is it contains key? Is it 1 available in the map? Yes, 1 is available in the map. Cool. So now check the difference. The value of I is 3. So 3 minus, sir, in interviews, we will first discuss the brute force approach. Yes, if you know the brute force. First you'll explain your approach. If you know the brute force, like the basic thing, like here the brute force is using a double loop, using a nested loops, right? So that will take a more time complexity. Right? That will be a brute force. But if you know really, if you don't know, then you can directly go to the solution part. Okay, like whatever you know, then you can explain that. If you know that you can explain like brute force, we have to use two loops that will take this much of time complexity, but that is not an appropriate way. Now I'll write an optimized way by using a hash map. So that is a correct way actually. Okay, so now here the value of I was 3. You'll get the value of nums_i, that is 2, right? Nums_i which is 1 and 1 the value that of the 1 which is available in the map, that is 2. So 3 minus 2, is this less than or equals to k? K is 1. Yes, that is true. So then this if will execute and you will return true. You will return true. But what if you didn't have this? At the end you will return false if you didn't have this, right? If you want this, then you'll return false in that case. And I hope, yeah, this is quite clear to everybody. Please tell me, is this making sense? Is this making sense to everybody? If that is true, and if you really enjoyed the live, then like the video or share with your other friends by which they can get the benefit of it. And again, if you're coming very first time to the channel, subscribe the channel by which you can have further updates. And one last important thing that I want to tell you, how you can access the playlist. I directly go to the YouTube, search Prep Insta, and then go to the playlist part. You will have LeetCode 150 days series playlist. Access that and start watching from starting. See you in the next live. Till then, take care. Bye bye. If you don't have any doubt, right? I'm just waiting for the last minute that if somebody have any doubts, then please ask. Otherwise, I'll wrap. Otherwise, I will wrap. If two starting values duplicate, then the logic work or not? Logic will work. Let's suppose if you have two starting values duplicate, like this should be one one. In that case, you could return true from here itself. Right? One you have inserted into the map means the map will be like this. Map will be like this. First, one is pointing out to 0. Another time you will have 1. And what will happen? That time index was 1. So we'll access this index. So what you will have? 1 minus 0, that is 1. And k also was expecting as 1. So you return true. Okay? That will work, Ahmed. That will work, Ahmed. Okay? Tell me any other doubt if somebody have. Is this clear, Ahmed? Please tell me, then we'll wrap. Is this clear? Cool, yeah, cool. So I guess there is no doubt so far. So in the next live by tomorrow at timing, everybody knows now. Timing, everybody knows that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Right? I and Friday. Saturday I'm on off, and Friday. Okay. I come at 5 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday I come at 6:15 p.m. So mark your calendar, add an alarm or something, but please keep progressing. See you in the next live. Till then, take care. Bye bye.